Hello and welcome back to Today in the NBA, where today I'm going to be going over the Los Angeles Lakers past regular season, postseason, what they've done in free agency and the offseason, what they could do for the rest of free agency and the rest of the offseason, and looking at some possible season outcomes for them next season. Now to start off, the Lakers finished 7th in the West with a record of 43-39. They were a pretty alright team, I guess you could say, not amazing actually. I'd probably say that they were below average. I think they were below 500 before the trade deadline, but I think it was a little bit before the trade deadline. They made a few trades. They traded for D'Angelo Russell, managed to get Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt. They had a really, really great trade deadline, probably the best in the league if you ask me, and from then on out they were really, really good. Now because of this, their season stats are a little bit warped, so I'm not going to be looking at those. They were really, really good on the defensive end of the ball. Jared Vanderbilt and Anthony Davis both combined to be a terrifying defensive backcourt. Both are able to switch onto guards and be great interior defenders. Anthony Davis a little bit more so on the inside, Jared Vanderbilt a little bit more so on the perimeter. LeBron James, we all know he can be an elite defender. He's got that perfect blend of strength, skill, athleticism. We all know. We've seen it in Miami. We even saw it in the playoff runs later on in his career in Cleveland. Austin Reeves, he's never going to be an elite defender, but he's definitely solid, probably a little bit above average. D'Angelo Russell, if he really locked in on that end of the ball, I think he could be a great defender. He's athletic enough, even though he's not all that athletic. He's got long arms, really long arms actually, so he should be able to get steals pretty solidly. He just needs to work on his defensive instinct and whatnot. But anyway, I think that this team's defensive potential is even higher than it was last year. Now, for their depth chart, starting, they have D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Jared Vanderbilt, and Anthony Davis. And off the bench, they have Gabe Vincent, Cam Reddish, or Max Christie, or Jalen Hood-Schifino, who knows, Taurean Prince, Rui Hachimura, and Jackson Hayes. Now, I could see this being maybe a 9-man rotation. During the playoffs, however, it's probably going to drop to a 7 or 8-man rotation, probably getting rid of Jackson Hayes, maybe Gabe Vincent, maybe Taurean Prince, maybe Rui Hachimura, and then whoever the backup shooting guard will be. Now the possibilities for the backup shooting guard, we have Jalen Hood-Schifino, Max Christie, and Cam Reddish. Now if Jalen Hood-Schifino was the backup shooting guard, he wouldn't really be a shooting guard. They'll probably have Gabe Vincent at the 2 and Jalen Hood-Schifino running the 1. All of these players could be changed for each other. They're all solid young players, with Jalen Hood and Max Christie probably having a little bit more potential than Cam Reddish just due to them being younger. They're all people that can handle the ball, are able to create somewhat off the catch maybe. We haven't really seen anything from Jalen Hood-Schifino in the NBA yet. Max Christie has seen very limited NBA minutes, so there isn't a huge sample size to go off for him. But what we've seen from Cam Reddish is he's really, really, really inconsistent. If he can stay consistent, I could definitely see him receiving maybe 12 to 14, maybe even 18 minutes a night in this Lakers rotation. Just someone that can hit the 3, play good defense, create off the catch when he needs to, and who knows, maybe run a couple pick and rolls a game. Especially with Anthony Davis and Jared Vanderbilt, both players who are very capable at finishing the pick and roll. Next up, the Lakers off-season grade. For me, I'm going to be giving them a very, very strong A to an A+. They had a great off-season. The weakest part of their off-season was probably their draft. They picked up Jalen Hood-Schifino. He's a great player, and I probably could have seen him going a little bit higher, maybe to the 15th pick. So it is solid value where they got him. But I would have liked to have seen them go for a more win-now player, maybe a Chris Murray or an Oliver Maxence Prosper. Both older players who can definitely come in and impact winning straight away. Oliver Maxence Prosper being a better defender, Chris Murray being a better shooter. I would say they're both players that would be receiving rotation minutes, even if it is only 8 minutes a night. But still, Jalen Hood-Schifino, pretty solid pickup, good value for the pick, and who knows, he could develop into a star one day. You never know. They managed to re-sign D'Angelo Russell on what I thought was a pretty decent contract. It's probably a little bit of an overpay, but I do think it's only for 2 years, so it's not that big of a deal. By the time LeBron James is gone, if he leaves after this year, then D'Lo will only have 1 year left, and then they can evaluate what to do from there. They did manage to re-sign Austin Reeves on a steal of a contract. I thought that Austin Reeves would have got maybe somewhere in the ballpark of $20 million a year. That is a bit of an overpay for him, personally speaking, but I think a team like maybe the Pistons or someone could have seen Austin Reaves' potential, and the fact that he's a great complementary player, could be great alongside someone like Cade Cunningham or a Jalen Green, Amen Thompson. If he went to the Rockets, who knows? But I'm very, very happy that Austin Reaves did manage to get back to the Lakers on the great deal that he did. Rui Hachimura, he's probably the worst move of their free agency. He was definitely a bit of an overpay, but I'm glad he came back. Cam Reddish, solid player. He is pretty good for the money that they've got him on. As I said before, bit streaky, but he can be a great player when he's on. They did manage to get Gabe Vincent. Great backup point guard off the bench. He could even start if D'Angelo Russell isn't having a great season. He's someone that is great at playing off the ball and on the ball. Probably not as good as Austin Reaves in either of those roles, but he's a pretty solid defender. He's good all round. He doesn't really have any big flaws in his game. The Taurean Prince pickup is also really solid. Another great 3-and-D player. Definitely adds some more size to their team at the small forward position. And finally, Jackson Hayes, really good player. He did struggle a little bit last season. Actually, he did struggle a lot last season with the Pelicans. He did look his best playing the 4 alongside Jonas Valanciunas. So who knows? Hopefully he's a great player alongside Anthony Davis while AD runs the 5. Now the Anthony Davis contract extension, I think for the second player on your championship team, it's probably a little bit too much, especially with the new CBA. But I think they probably did have to re-sign him, so that I'm glad he did re-sign, as not many people expected him to. And now finally, we've got my season predictions for the Lakers next year. I think the Lakers are going to be a solid team. I think it'll be the 6th seed for them, with a record of 47-35. I think that if they are healthy, however, they'll be one of the better teams in the league, definitely one of the scarier ones. But the big thing is Anthony Davis and LeBron James. LeBron's getting older, fair bit more load management's going on with him. Anthony Davis, we all know he's an injury-prone player, so who knows how many games he's going to play. Hopefully they both break the 65-game threshold, not just for the individual awards, but just because I don't know how good the team's going to be without them two playing. I think LeBron James and Anthony Davis both make the All-Stars game. I think LeBron James, if he meets the games played threshold, makes All-NBA third team, and I think Anthony Davis as well, if he meets the games played threshold, makes the All-NBA third team as well. 2 All-NBA players is really good, but I think that is probably all the Lakers are going to get. I don't know if Jalen Hood-Schifino will get enough minutes to be considered for any all-rookie teams, and Jared Vanderbilt's probably not good enough of a defender, especially considering the defensive talent in the front courts around the league. Now for my postseason prediction for the Lakers. I think that the Lakers will probably get bounced in the first round by the Golden State Warriors. I think that Steph will just come into the series absolutely possessed, along with Clay, and who knows, maybe even Chris Paul wanting to win his first ring. I just think that the vengeance that they would have felt from last time, or this season, when they lost to the Lakers, will be enough to beat LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. What do you think the Lakers are going to end up finishing as? Do you think they'll make the playoffs? Who knows? They could even win a ring. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you really enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I do make daily NBA content, so it is worth keeping up to date on. Anyway, that does it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.